Now, this is my absolute favorite efficiency technique. I can't emphasize it enough. It's something that I use every business day for certain, and almost every day just in general, because of the energy that it gives me, because of the mental clarity that it gives me, because of the peace that it gives me. And this simple technique I've been using now for, I don't even know, probably over six years. And it has been the best thing I've found for increasing efficiency within the framework that we've talked about already. So this is something that will take what we've already gone through already and it'll just take it to the next level, skyrocket. And it's amazing because it's a tool that doesn't require any special equipment, any fancy setup, anything like that. It's something you can use wherever you are. So let's take a look at it. Because this technique is, the way I look at it is it's a way to go, maybe you're in red. You could be the lowest of red, and it's a technique that'll allow you to go blue. And then and it's a 20-minute technique, and when you come out of that 20 minutes, you're operating at blue. You're operating with blue ideas. So there's so many benefits to get into this. Let's start with what it is. It's called TM. TM, the full name is Transcendental Meditation. So it's got kind of like a woo-woo name, but it's actually very practical, science-based. It's taught by a nonprofit. It's being used in more and more and more and more cases with military vets who have PTSD, in schools with overactive children. It's a very simple technique that is so powerful. And I initially went into it for looking for like spiritual benefits, and I stayed using it because I'm just like, this gives me energy. This gives me mental clarity. So maybe there was spiritual benefits, maybe not, but like, wow, the level of just value in terms of what I could produce in a day has kept me using it. And as you see below this video, there's bonus additional resources. They're optional resources that you can take a look that go deeper into the science. There's endorsements by like multi-billionaire Ray Dalio, why he uses this specific technique, because there's different levels of meditation. There's different techniques of meditation. Not all meditation is created equal. So this specific technique is a unique technique because extremely wealthy people and celebrities, many celebrities, both use this technique. And you'll see that in the examples below. So Joseph first introduced me to this technique, and it was a point when I was in the web design business too, where there's a lot of stress and my mind is always going. I got 210-1, so it's just like over analyzing to the nth degree. And this was the only way that I had ever known where I could shut my brain off. I can actually shut it down and just get a break. Because otherwise, the over-analyzing carried into sleeping. I couldn't fall asleep, or I couldn't, it went into the dreams as well. So this is a way to just hit the reset button on your brain. And you know how like our computer gets overloaded, like there's too many tabs open, there's too much files, and it's just getting clogged, it's slowing down. That's exactly how I view it with our brain. It's slowing down, and as we slow down, we're going into red more and more. And this technique is just like restarting your computer, rebooting it up. It's like boom, it just clears everything, it's working clear again, and it's great. So this is run by a nonprofit, so I mean, I can't recommend it enough. I get nothing from this recommendation. It is a little bit of investment. I think it depends on where you get the instruction from, and now they're coming up with online things, so hopefully that'll make it cheaper. I just know that the more people that have this tool in their pocket, the happier they'll be, the more effective they'll be, and it's like a secret. It's just an amazing thing, because I started doing it because I felt that I would get 2 days in one day. I felt that I would do my morning work, I'd start going to the afternoon, and I'd start getting, losing full mental resources, getting kind of groggy, and then I could, boom, do 20 minutes of TM, and it's just like I woke up. It's just like I woke up and I'm like, all right, I still have the rest of my day. And so it gives me 2 days. And yeah. So the other thing I'll share on that too is, let's take a look at why it works. Oh, And you'll notice that as meditation. It says absolutely effortless. Anyone can do it, even if you can't meditate. And that's true for me. Before this, I couldn't meditate for more than 15 seconds. Are you kidding me? My mind is going on overdrive, analyzing things vertically, horizontally, past, present, future, all the time, especially back then. And especially throw 25 full-time team members and all the different stress and just trying to hold everything together. It was like, are you fucking kidding me? Meditate for I got shit to do. I got fires to put out. I got people knocking on the door, digitally, sending me emails, all this type of things. So I couldn't even meditate for more than 10, 15 seconds. Yet when I learned how to do this, all of a sudden I was able to do 20 minutes. And just like, wow. So wherever you are with it, I know other techniques didn't work for me. This was a totally different level. So let's take a look at a bit why it works. And like I said, there's quantum physicist John Hagelin, who's got a great video that goes more into the science of it down below. So essentially with the TM is like we've got our active mind on top. Thinking, going, responsibilities, what we should do, what we should plan, what we need to take care of. That's the active mind. Now, it's like an ocean, and this is what they teach, is like as we go deeper into the ocean, it's actually calmer. So on the top of the ocean, there's all this different activity. It could be storms happening, but the deeper we go into the ocean, the less activity there is from the water. So this is an analogy for our mind as well, as on the top of our mind, which is our conscious mind, which is a lot of the prefrontal cortex, then we've got all our analyzing, all of our responsibilities, but the deeper we're able to go into the levels of the subconscious mind, that more peace is available there. And so being able to spend 20 minutes, maybe it's even 10 minutes out of that 20-minute segment in there, allows amazing things to happen on a body level. So what happens is that when we go down to that peaceful part of our mind, the activity in the prefrontal cortex downregulates. And that's all our analyzing. That's our sense of self. That's who we are. What do we need to do? Who do we need to talk to? All that stuff. So the part of the brain that's in charge of that starts slowing down. And then what that allows to happen in our body is that the parasympathetic system starts turning on instead of the sympathetic system. So the sympathetic system is when we're stressed. Our body is in a fight or flight response. And what happens is all these stress, cortisol is released in the bloodstream. We're not able to digest and absorb the maximum amount of nutrients from our food. We can't heal as well. So this is all happening because if we just look at a common sense level, if we're running from a lion and our body's like, we need to get out of here, it's not going to be focusing on, okay, let me heal, let me, digest this food that we ate earlier for breakfast. No, it's like all resources on deck right now. Let's get out of here and let's survive. So since we are still that creature, it's just that the world around us has evolved to have all this stimulus, all this sea of information that's pushing our buttons to keep us in a stressed state if we don't consciously work on it. So it keeps our body in a stressed state, so it can't recover and it starts aging faster. Now, when the parasympathetic system turns on, it's like, okay, we're away from the lion, we're able to be at peace. Okay, now let's focus on digesting the food. Maybe we got some scratches along the way. Maybe our muscles are tired. Let's recover. Let's rest. Let's restore. Let's digest. So what TM does, Transcendental Meditation, and they say in the studies prove this too, that it's better than sleep. It's actually better recovery than sleep, because sometimes in sleep, we don't go into that full peaceful state. Sometimes it takes a long time for our brain waves to get into REM sleep and have that true small section of deep recovery. And what TM does, and they've got tons of research to back it up, and I can share from my own experience, it allows us to go into that state of deep recovery, deep peace, very quick, faster than anything I've ever seen. So that 20 minutes, or maybe it takes you a little bit to get into that 10 minutes, then boom, your body is recovering at such a high level, the brain is restoring at such a high level that when you come out of it, you're just feeling amazing. You just got another day of energy. And I didn't know this at the time. When I just did, I was like, okay, I just feel better and happier when I do this, and I got a second day. And now, as I've understood the science more, I put together of like, oh, okay, this makes sense why this is happening. Because when the meditation is happening, the sense of self, well, because what you do is you just repeat a mantra that they give you, you repeat a word that they give you, and you just keep repeating that. And what happens is it gives the mind, the prefrontal cortex, something to focus on. But it's not complicated, it's just simple. It has something to focus on, and then as it focuses on, the activity in that part of the brain slows down, but it still has something to focus on because that part of the brain wants to focus on something and it'll find something. But it has something and then it calms it down, and then the rest of the body's like, oh sweet, let's turn the parasympathetic system, and then all the body, the subconscious takes the reins, and it's like, oh sweet, finally we can do these processes we've been wanting to do. And then boom, that real peace happens, and then when you come to, you're feeling recovered and refreshed. Now, I do this with, I just set an alarm for 20 minutes because then I can fully let go. I use a night mask too. I used to think night masks were bullshit, but until I tried one, and then I was like, wow, okay, I get more quality sleep with it, and then also I just put it on for the meditation, and it just kind of like has become a thing where my brain knows that like, all right, it's time to meditate. And sometimes when I do this, I'm kind of like quasi-conscious throughout it, kind of like in a dream state. And sometimes when it's really deep, when the body really needs rest, it's just like someone pulls the plug, where it's just like time and space just kind of goes out the window, and it's just this interesting feeling of just being there but just totally not there. And you come to and you're just like, wow, this is the deepest rest I've had ever. So that's what it is. And like I said, man, I get nothing from this. So this is just like, I just know the value that this has had on my life. And it's literally some of the best money I've ever spent. Some of the best money I've ever spent. And I think depending on the programs I got now, it's cheaper now. When I went through it, I paid, I think, like $950 for it. And God, it was, I mean, it's some of the best money I've ever spent. The amount of value that I get every day from it is amazing. And specifically when there's times where I need an extra boost, and it's like, maybe I don't have much time. It's like, okay, well, I could go for the caffeine. That's an option, but that kind of taxes the body. And now I know, even if it's business, maybe if it's just hanging out, we're going to go do something with friends. I'm like, I just do TM because I know that it's A, going to be better for my body. B, I'm going to have the mental clarity. And I like the version of myself better, that the one that's clear-minded and refreshed, than the version of myself that's kind of been running a full day and then, is going to go see people afterwards. So this has been my experience with TM. Can't recommend it enough. Doesn't matter what religion you are. Doesn't matter if you're spiritual or not spiritual. Doesn't matter what age. Doesn't matter what race, whatever, gender. It's so simple and so practical that it's the best thing that I believe for all of us, increasing our efficiency, and definitely my favorite. So there we go. Feel free to explore the optional resources below, and see you in the next video.